Hello, my name is Brett Underwood. I'm the coordinator of out-of-state recruitment at Jacksonville State University. First of all, thank you for joining us tonight for preview today. Just wanted to welcome you and specifically thank you for joining me for this session about admissions. We're going to go through several different slides here with just some general JSU information, some fun facts, and then we'll jump into the admissions process and scholarships and financial aid a little bit. So wanting to be mindful of your time, we can jump right in. You can see on the page here some different stats and numbers. And as you're looking at different colleges, you're going to see a lot of this information. So what I want to do is try to explain to you what these numbers mean for your college experience and how numbers can dictate what your experience looks like when you go to college. So some of these numbers here, for example, 9,000 plus students, the academic programs, the student organizations, and the class size. What those numbers indicate is that we're a mid-sized university. And so with a mid-sized university, what that means for your experience is that you have a lot of opportunities on one end. You have the student organizations, the academic programs that we're talking about here that really allow you to get involved with different things and learn about different things. On the other side of that, you also have great opportunities to get really connected and involved. Great opportunities to get to know people within these organizations and within these academic programs. From the academic side, whether that's getting to research with professors, or from the student organization side, maybe that's getting a leadership position really early on. You want to be a president or a vice president of a club or organization right as a freshman. You have a lot of leadership opportunities. So the mid-sized institution, what it brings is really the opportunities that are usually associated with a large campus, and then the close-knit family and the feeling valued and like you're more than just a number aspect that's typically associated with a small campus. So it's kind of that best of both worlds feel. A couple of other numbers that are really important, the students from 42 states and 52 countries. Jacksonville State, it's a diverse campus where diversity is not only recognized, but it's appreciated, it's valued, it's celebrated, and we really try hard to make sure that everyone knows each other's stories and respects each other's stories. And one way that we do that is we have what's called the International House. It's one of my favorite places on campus. In the International House, you have 40 total students, 20 American students and 20 international students. And those students live together. They pair up and live together. And it's really a cool cultural experience where you get to learn throughout the course of the year about different cultures that are represented in that house and around campus. Those events are also open to the rest of campus. And so it provides a cool opportunity to get to go and learn about new things. Some students might do a PowerPoint about their country or their culture. Some might teach a dance that's native to their culture or cook a meal in the great kitchen in the International House and teach everybody the recipe of something that's native to their culture. So it's really a cool experience. Somebody described it to me once as almost like studying abroad, but while living on campus. So that's just one of the ways that we really try to show off the diversity that we have and to learn more about it and celebrate those differences. The Alumni Network is something else that is really important. We want to make sure that you get connected to people early and often who have been through what you're going through. That not only helps you through the journey that you're going to be going on as a current student, but it's also going to help you when you get out of college, when you have those connections, whether that's for job opportunity purposes or just for friendships and relationships purposes. We really want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to get you around alumni early and often throughout your college search process, and then ultimately keeping you connected once you graduate. Looking at the academic side a little bit, these programs here, the top programs are listed as that largely because of the numbers of students that are involved with them. It's not necessarily a ranking or a hierarchy of our academic programs and the rigor of those. It's more just about the numbers of students involved. And so you can see some unique programs there as well. One I want to highlight specifically is film. It's a pretty new program. This year, 2020, 2021 is actually the first year it's been a major. So it's one of our newer ones. We have a studio that's actually part of Jacksonville State's campus. It's called Longleaf Studios. It's a professional film studio, and it still functions as that. And that's where the film major is housed. It has the tallest green screen in Alabama. Just recently, there was actually a film there, and I don't want to mess up the name of it, so I'm not going to say that, but it was shot by, or the stars of it, I guess, were Robert Pattinson and Tom Holland. And it was shot in Alabama as a whole, but specifically largely at our film studio as well as in the Jacksonville community. So it is functioning as a professional film studio. So our students get to kind of see and be a part of what's going on, not just on the academic side, but also in the real world and get to witness that firsthand. The other thing that I'll say about academics at Jacksonville State as a whole is we're really great at what I like to call applied learning. And what I mean by that is taking the things that you're learning in the classroom and then applying them in some way that is hands-on. And so that's done a lot of different ways depending on what program you're in. But making sure that you're not only learning information, but you're also applying it. And we know that does help you to learn the information. And it also will translate more closely to not just you getting a job, to being better in an interview when you have things to talk about that you've actually done, but also then being really great at the job once you get it. We want you to experience that firsthand and get to do the job while you're in college. I'm going to move on to the admissions side and talk a little bit about what that looks like for us and the requirements and how you go about getting it accepted. So from a requirement standpoint, for the incoming students in 2021, whether that's for the spring, summer, or fall of 2021, we are both test optional and test blind. So those two things mean different things. Test optional first means you do not have to send a test score. Okay, ACT or SAT, you do not have to send that. We largely made this decision due to COVID and some of the limited capabilities for students to take tests. So if you have not had that opportunity, you do not have to take one or send one to us to be accepted. The test blind portion of this means that if you do send us a score, we're only going to consider it if it helps you. Okay, so my recommendation is do send us a score if you have one. And we will only look at it both for admissions and scholarship purposes if it helps you. All right, so you do not have to send a score, but if you have taken a test, please send it to us and we'll consider that only if it's going to help. Like I said, test scores are not required for scholarship consideration for our merit-based scholarships, and we'll talk about those more here in just a minute. In terms of applying, if you have not applied yet, you can start doing so during your senior year. And so for those of you who are seniors, these steps will apply to you now. For those of you who are not seniors yet, these steps will apply once you are. So filling out the application online, it is a fully online application. It is pretty much just basic demographic information. There's no essays or anything of that sort. There is a $35 application fee. This is a non-refundable application fee, but we do accept fee waivers. And so if you have an ACT or SAT fee waiver, please send us that and we'll waive that fee. And then lastly, we just need your high school transcripts. Once we get those in, and if you have ACT or SAT scores, you can send those as well. But once we get the application fee, and then your high school transcripts, we'll get you a decision back. And this will kind of lead into some more next steps, such as being able to apply for housing. I would recommend doing that as early as possible. Housing is an area where you do benefit from filling the application out earlier rather than later. Submitting the FAFSA, you can also do that. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. So that's a form that you fill out online that is not specific to Jacksonville State University. And then you can choose to send that FAFSA information to up to 10 schools. So you can send that to us. Our financial aid also will look over that, and then you'll possibly get financial rewards from that. And then scholarships, going ahead and starting the scholarship application process. Now, we have a few different scholarship types that we'll go into on the next slide. And I'm actually going to jump into that right now, and then we'll come back up to the estimated costs and such. But with the different types of scholarships. So first type is called merit-based. I would say they fall into three different categories. The first one being merit-based scholarships. These are automatic scholarships, okay? So once you apply and get accepted, we're gonna look at your information, your academic information, your GPA or your GPA and test scores, and then we're gonna award you scholarships accordingly. Those can range anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000 a year towards tuition. And again, are just based on those academic criteria. You can, up until May 1st, so May 1st of 2021, send updated test scores for increased scholarship possibilities. Okay, so I do want you to know that. So if you haven't taken the test yet, or you have taken it and didn't score as high as you want to, you can continue to retake that test and send it to us until May 1st, and we'll consider upgrades for scholarships then. So we have merit-based scholarships is one possibility. Another is competitive scholarships. So you can see there on the slide, 250 plus competitive scholarships through the JAX app. And so there's a deadline for the JAX app of February 1st. My advice on this is to go ahead and look at that application. Okay, check it out. There are a few essays on there. There are a few things to write about yourself. And so my advice is to look at that application, write out those answers in a separate document, like a Word document or something of that sort, and give yourself a little bit of time to go back through and edit it and adjust that to make it as good as you can. Have somebody else read over it and edit with you for grammatical things, but take your time a little bit more on that. Don't rush to submit it like you have to be first in line on that. That's not the case. We want you to represent yourself in the best way possible, and just make sure you get it submitted by the deadline. Also within the group of competitive scholarships, there's leadership and honors. These are specifically designed for freshmen. Okay, so there are a couple of extra things with this as well. This is a separate application where we might ask for a couple letters of recommendation or a resume of some type. So make sure you go in and look at these requirements so you can get started on that process early. There is a slightly earlier deadline for the honor scholarship, so make sure you look at that as well so you can meet that requirement in early January. But with the 250 competitive scholarships through the JAX app, you fill out one application, and then that filters your information through all 250 plus of those scholarships. So you don't have to go through and search those and figure out which ones you might qualify for and fill out those applications. It all does that with the one application. Hopefully can speed up that process for you a little bit. So I mentioned two types of scholarships, the merit-based and the competitive. The third type of scholarship is performance-based. Okay, so this could be things in areas of the arts, like marching band, music, visual art, drama, those types of things where you basically audition and showcase a skill or talent that you have, and then you're rewarded a scholarship from that department to come in and do that skill at Jacksonville State. Athletics, I would also qualify or count in this category of performance scholarships, which is the recruitment process between you and the coaching staff of the sport that you play. So those are really three different types of scholarships: merit-based, competitive, and then performance. Now, all of these hopefully are going to go to cut into some of your cost. All right, so the estimated first year cost that you see there for tuition and fees and then room and board, this is an estimate specifically on the room side. So where you live can adjust slightly. I mentioned previously to fill out the application early. One reason for that is to choose where you get to live. You have a better chance of getting the housing that you want by filling it out earlier. But there are also price differences to consider. And so this cost can slightly vary, and it's just a starting point. So when you have this total estimated cost, then we're going to take off the amount of scholarships that you get, and we're going to take off the amount of financial aid that you get from this total number. So ultimately what matters to you is your bottom line. Okay, so when we have this total cost, say you get a $5,000 academic scholarship and $5,000 of financial aid. So now your cost is down to, according to this estimate, $6,386. And so that number is really what we want to emphasize, that bottom line. If you fill out the FAFSA, that free application for federal student aid, and send it to us, then our financial aid office will work to get information back to you so you can calculate your bottom line. We'll start doing that later this year in December or January. And so we'll be able to send you an estimate of all your cost, in addition to an estimate of the scholarships that you're currently receiving, as well as the financial aid you're currently receiving. So you can look and see a bottom line and what that financial aspect is for attending Jacksonville State. There are a lot of ways to save money when you go to college. Some of those things that can vary, like I mentioned, housing, having some varying costs, textbook rentals, and taking advantage of that opportunity to rent textbooks from our JSU bookstore. Our JSU bookstore will also do some price matching type things to try to help out in that way. Student employment, so most of our students work either on campus or off campus, so looking for opportunities like that, and then payment plans. And instead of feeling forced to pay all your costs up front, being able to spread that out over the course of the semester or the course of a year. One really important aspect, and this is probably, in my opinion at least, the most important thing that I'll say today is make sure you connect with your admissions counselor. We really want to be the people who are here to help through the process, to answer your questions. This can be a stressful process. It can be overwhelming. There's a lot of information to learn and to know. And so we want to guide you through that as much as possible. We just want to help you out. And so if you don't know who your admissions counselor is, based on the territories there, some of those are kind of general statements, then feel free to scan that QR code up in the top with your phone. and check out, according to where you live, who your admissions counselor is. And if you have specific questions about that, you can always email us as a whole or reach out to any one of us, and we can point you in the right direction. But if you've seen things today that you have specific questions about or want to talk in more detail about, please reach out to us. I know that all of you have different stories, whether it's on the academic side. I know all of you have different things that you're looking to major in, and so I didn't want to go into too many specifics. But we do want to do that with you individually, and we do want to tell you all about the program that we offer that you're interested in and how it's going to help you moving forward. So please look us up, reach out to us, and we'll be glad to help you in any way we can. I would also encourage you to visit campus. In my opinion, one of the top 2 or 3 pieces of advice that I give to students looking into college is to go and visit campus. We are able to offer in-person visits currently. Those are happening Monday through Friday, with a few Saturday visits we've had it this fall as well. And so please take an opportunity to take a day or a couple hours or an afternoon and come visit campus. We'd love to see you around. I personally think that it's hard to tell the culture of a campus and if you feel like you belong if you haven't stepped on campus before. So we want to try to make that happen for you and give you opportunities to do that and come and check it out. My story about Jacksonville State is that when I went to campus was the first time that I knew, okay, this is a place where I can see myself fitting in, being a part of what's going on here, and a place where I feel like people care about me. And I would hope that you feel the same way. So our contact information is down here in the bottom left of your screen. Please, like I said, reach out to us with any questions you have. Reach out specifically to your admissions counselor with any questions that you have. I hope that you enjoy the other things happening with Preview Day today and that you get a lot of good information. And we really look forward to talking with you more in the future and hopefully seeing you on campus soon. Hope you have a great day.